and another old quarter, before you throw one into a vending machine, and before you toss that forgotten jar of coins into the bank, listen carefully. Because somewhere in America, there could be an old Washington quarter hiding in plain sight. And one very special example could be worth an unbelievable fortune. We're talking about a 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark. An old coin that most people might look at and think, it's just 25 cents. But what if that tiny piece of American history could be connected to a value as high as $500,000? Yes, you heard that right. But here's the shocking part. Not every 1960 Washington quarter is valuable. In fact, most are not worth anywhere near that amount. So what makes a coin potentially become extremely valuable? Is it the year? Is it the missing mint mark? Is it the condition? Could there be a rare variety, an unusual error, or a remarkable combination of characteristics hiding on the coin? That is exactly what we're going to investigate today. And I want you to stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you the most important things collectors look for when examining an old Washington quarter. This is Coin Master USA, and today we are starting our countdown with a coin that could make you look at your spare change in a completely different way. Intro. Welcome back to Coin Master USA, where we search through American coin history for the rarest, most fascinating, and potentially most valuable coins ever discovered. Today, we have 3 incredible coins to explore. And our first coin is a 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark. Now, before you get too excited, let me make something very clear. A normal 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark is not automatically worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The real value of any coin depends on several critical factors, including its condition, rarity, varieties, errors, provenance, and what collectors are actually willing to pay. And that's exactly why this coin is so interesting. Because when you're searching for a potentially valuable coin, you're not just looking at the date. You're looking for the details that other people might completely miss. Coin reveal. Now let's take a closer look at our first coin, the 1960 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary piece of American pocket change. On the front, you'll see the famous portrait of George Washington, one of the most recognizable figures in American history. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the iconic eagle design that makes the classic Washington quarter so popular among collectors. But now, here's where things get interesting. Our example is described as having no mint mark. And for a coin collector, those tiny details can be extremely important. The mint mark can tell us where a coin was produced. On many U.S. coins, you may find a small letter indicating the mint facility where the coin was struck. But when there is no mint mark, that doesn't automatically mean the coin is rare. In fact, many Washington quarters were intentionally produced without a mint mark at the Philadelphia Mint. So if you find a 1960 quarter with no mint mark, don't immediately assume you have a $500,000 treasure. Instead, take a deep breath. and start examining the coin carefully. The condition test. The first major factor is condition, and this is where things can become extremely interesting. Imagine finding a 1960 Washington quarter that has spent decades in circulation. It may have scratches. It may have worn lettering. The high points of Washington's portrait may be smooth from years of handling. The eagle on the reverse may have lost some of its finest details. That kind of coin can still be historically fascinating, but its market value will generally be much lower than a coin that has survived in exceptional condition. Now imagine something completely different. A 1960 quarter that has been carefully preserved for decades. Sharp details, strong luster, minimal marks, clean surfaces, and exceptional overall eye appeal. Suddenly, collectors may look at that coin very differently. And this is why professional grading can make such a massive difference. A coin that looks old to one person might look rare and highly collectible to another. But professional grading helps establish the coin's condition and authenticity. So if you think you have something special, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean your coin. Cleaning an old coin can damage the original surface and potentially reduce its collectible value. Handle it carefully by the edges, keep it protected, and consider having it examined by a reputable coin expert or professional grading service. The $500,000 question. Now we reach the question everyone is waiting for. Could a 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark really be worth $500,000? The answer is not as simple as looking at the date and mint mark. A $500,000 valuation would require extraordinary circumstances. The coin would need to be exceptionally rare or possess characteristics that make it highly desirable to serious collectors. That could involve a major minting error, an extremely rare variety, exceptional preservation, or extraordinary documented history. And this is exactly why coin collecting is so exciting. Sometimes the most important clue isn't immediately visible. A tiny difference in lettering, a doubled design element, an unusual strike, a dramatic minting error, or a condition so exceptional that very few examples exist. That's where the real treasure hunt begins. The emotional story. Now imagine this. You're cleaning out an old family home. You open a drawer that hasn't been touched for decades. Inside is an old coin collection. Maybe it belonged to your grandfather. Maybe it came from your parents. Maybe it's been sitting in a jar for years. And there it is. A 1960 Washington quarter. You almost throw it away. But then you notice something. The coin looks unusually sharp. The surfaces are surprisingly beautiful. The details are strong. And you begin to wonder, could this be something special? You take it to an expert. The expert looks at the coin, then looks again. Suddenly, the expression on their face changes. And they say, this coin needs to be examined more closely. That moment is exactly what every coin hunter dreams about. Because sometimes history isn't found in a museum. Sometimes it's hiding in your pocket. What to check on your coin? So, if you have a 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark, What should you do? First, check the date carefully. Make sure it really is 1960. Next, examine the coin's overall condition. Look closely at Washington's portrait. Check the lettering. Inspect the eagle on the reverse. Look for unusual doubling, strange shapes, missing details, or anything that appears different from a normal example. But remember, wear, scratches, and damage caused after the coin left the mint are not the same thing as a genuine minting error. This distinction is incredibly important. Next, compare your coin with trusted references and photographs of known varieties. And if you believe you have discovered something unusual, consider getting professional advice. Never assume a coin is worth $500,000 simply because someone online posted a huge price. The actual value of a rare coin depends on authentication, condition, rarity, and the real market. Final suspense. So, is the 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark the next hidden fortune waiting to be discovered? For most examples, probably not. But could an extraordinary example with an exceptional combination of rarity, condition, error, or documented history attract serious collector interest? That's where things get fascinating. And that's why you should never judge an old coin by its face value alone. 25 cents. That's what the coin says. But its history? That could be priceless. And if you find one that appears truly exceptional, you may have a coin worth investigating. Because you never know what might be hiding in an old collection, a forgotten jar, or a box of inherited coins. Transition to coin 2. But don't go anywhere! Because this is only coin number 1. We still have 2 more coins to reveal. And the next coin could be even more surprising. One of these coins may have a story that completely changes the way you think about American pocket change. So before you leave, make sure you subscribe to Coin Master USA, turn on notifications, and stay with us for coin number 2. Because the deeper we go, the more unbelievable these coins become. And remember, the next rare coin you discover might already be sitting right in your hands. This is Coin Master USA. Keep searching. Keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a small piece of American history. Because sometimes, the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. 2 divided by 8, 2:55 p.m. Ali, coin 2, 1998. D, Washington quarter claimed value. Up to $1,500,000. Coin Master USA. 10-minute viral script. Opening hook 000100. Stop! Don't spend that old Washington quarter until you check one tiny detail. Because the coin sitting in your pocket could look completely ordinary. But what if I told you that one 1998 Washington quarter has been claimed to be worth an unbelievable $1.05 million?
Yeah, $1.05 million.
That's enough money to completely change someone's life. But here's the shocking truth. Not every 1998 Washington quarter is worth a fortune. In fact, millions of ordinary Washington quarters were produced. So why would anyone pay an enormous amount of money for one particular coin? What could possibly make a quarter worth more than a luxury home? Is it the D mint mark? Is it the condition? Could it be a rare minting error? Or is there a hidden detail that most people never notice? Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 1998 D Washington quarter and discover exactly what serious collectors look for when searching for a potentially valuable coin. And trust me, you do not want to miss the final part of this video, because one tiny detail could completely change the story of an ordinary-looking quarter. Welcome back to Coin Master USA. Intro 1002000. If you're new here, welcome to Coin Master USA, the channel where we explore America's most fascinating coins, hidden treasures, rare varieties, and stories from the world of coin collecting. Today, we're continuing our countdown of 3 potentially extraordinary American coins. And we've already explored coin number 1. But now, we're moving to coin number 2. And this time, we're looking at a 1998 Washington quarter with a D mint mark. At first glance, it may look like nothing more than 25 cents. But for collectors, the details matter. The date matters. The mint mark matters. The condition matters. And most importantly, the specific characteristics of the individual coin matter. So let's take a closer look. Coin reveal 200300. Here it is. The 1998 D Washington quarter. The front of the coin features George Washington, one of the most famous figures in American history. The reverse features the classic eagle design associated with the Washington quarter series. And somewhere on the coin is that important little letter, D. That D mint mark identifies the Denver Mint. But here's something you need to understand. The presence of a D mint mark alone does not make a 1998 quarter worth $1.05 million. That's extremely important. There are many 1998 D Washington quarters that are common and worth only a modest amount, depending on condition. So if you have one in your pocket, don't immediately quit your job. The real question is, what makes a specific coin extraordinary? And that's where the story becomes much more interesting. The condition 300400. Let's talk about condition. Our example is described as being in fine condition. But professional coin grading uses specific standards to determine how well a coin has survived. A coin that has spent years circulating through thousands of hands may have scratches, dents, discoloration, and wear. Everyday life can be brutal to coins. They bounce around in pockets. They get dropped on sidewalks. They are thrown into machines. They sit in drawers. They are mixed together in jars. Over time, all of that handling can damage the surface. But imagine finding